A Black teacher, Chaperone, is racially profiled at Universal Studios. Here it is.
Go, and he's just like, well, we noticed that you don't have a ticket. And I said, sir, I do have a ticket. I said, I showed the man on my phone, but he said that he couldn't use it, but other people are using theirs. So my son is here with me. We're under the same umbrella, same school. So I just use his ticket because the tickets are under the same name. Don't worry about it. Just come with me. So I'm just like, okay, well, where are you taking us? So when we get through this little back door, it's like a building full of investigation rooms. So I'm just like, are we being interrogated right now? Because it had the metal chairs, the metal tables, the light, and the camera in there. And so when me and my son get in there, before we get inside the door, the Caucasian guy that they told to come with us, who was with us, came on the trip, they told him, oh, you can leave. You don't need to come. And he was just like, but I was with them when they came inside. He was like, no, but you're fine. You can leave. So my son was just like, well, how is he able to leave, but we got to go, and he was with us. And so at that moment, I realized what was going on. I told him, I said, just stay calm. Let me figure it out.
Put up this picture. You see, this looks like a damn interrogation room. The Black teacher is from South Carolina. Universal Studios, once again, is in Florida. And according to the narrative, he and his son were racially profiled by park agents at the Universal Studios Florida theme park and were held in an interrogation room for 2 hours, where he was accused of not having a ticket. The educator, who goes by It's Coach to You on TikTok, explained that he and his son, who attends the school where he teaches, visited the park with several other high school seniors, faculty members, and chaperones to celebrate the students ahead of their graduation. The school purchased several tickets under the same name for a 4-day visit to 3 parks: Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, and Volcano Bay. On their first day in Orlando, the group visited the park briefly to do some sightseeing before checking into their hotel. The teacher said a park employee told the group that they could snap pictures of their tickets to store it on their phones instead of bringing the physical tickets back each day of their visit. The next day, the educator said that everyone in his party scanned their tickets by phone, yet he was the only person stopped by an employee at the gate who told him that his ticket could not be accepted and that he would have to get another. At that point, his son, who had already gained entry to the park, passed him his ticket to be scanned and let through the gate. A few hours after the entire group was inside, the teacher said he was standing with his son and a white chaperone when a few park employees approached them and accused the teacher, once again, the Black male, of not having a ticket. Quote, I get a tap on my shoulder and it's like these guys pop out of nowhere. And they just like, hey, you guys come with me, he recalled. Quote, so I'm thinking it's a joke. The teacher said employees led him into a part of the park with a building full of interrogation rooms. But a park agent told the white chaperone he could leave and go back to the park, even though the chaperone stated he was with them. The teacher and his son were directed to an interrogation room where one of the park employees began harshly interrogating them about their visit to the park, their tickets, and took their IDs. The teacher told the worker that he and his son were on a school trip and he needed to scan another ticket the school had purchased after he was denied access to the park that day. The park employee was not amenable to this story and continued to ask questions, showing him surveillance photos that showed when he accessed the park that day and the previous day, as well as another surveillance image of a Black faculty member, despite the fact that the entire group included Black and white faculty members and chaperones. Even after other employees were able to verify the teacher's story, the park employee continued to keep him and his son confined in the interrogation room. The educator has not yet explained how he and his son were finally released. Atlanta Black Star reached out to him and Universal Studios for comment about the incident. Well, sounds like Universal has some explaining to do, but the evidence is quite damning, the evidence we have on record. He was there with an entire school group. He's one of the school teachers. He's on faculty. His son happens to go to the same institution. They received the same ticket. Why? Because they purchased it under the same account. And all were told what to do to gain entry. And out of everyone there, you mean to tell me that this Black male and the younger Black male, his son, are somehow, I don't know, just randomly selected or specifically targeted? Okay, hopefully we'll get more information from the educator. Thank you for documenting what you have. Sharon, thoughts on this?
Well, I didn't have my glasses on when you first showed the footage. I quickly put them on because my daughter just left. She was down there with her school, and a Black teacher who she loves was one of the chaperones at Universal, down there with her chorus. Look, this is an overzealous, pathetic, controlling, in my view, my opinion, security guard. Interrogation rooms, do you know how much money they make off of Universal Studios? And I'm not suggesting that anyone should be able to rip them off, but this could have been cleared up in 10 seconds. You said that the man told him in the beginning, take a picture with your phone. You're not used to tours, or just not tours where Black men with beautiful dreads and hair hanging down are a part of being a chaperone for? I'm not sure which it is, but you're right. Universal got some problems on their hands. Might want to hire better.
Yep, there you go.